Yeah.
Brilliant. What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. You've just been inside the conversations that me and John have, which is, does my wife let me play FIFA? The answer is yes, obviously. John, on the other hand, has to ask for permission to do everything, absolutely everything. So anyway, well, let's get into this. Some big breaking news, John. I think it's quite exciting. The Friedkin group are in discussions with Peel for Nelson Dock. Now, I'll tell you what I think it's going to be, and you can tell me if I'm wrong or right, but they're going to extend that fucking stand, baby.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'd be the obvious one, wouldn't it? You know, we've all moaned on here that the capacity is not big enough. We've got that many on the season ticket waiting list. It is the only way we can build out. We can't build out one of the other stands, otherwise we'll all be sitting in the fucking Mersey. The other side, there's a business there, and then this side is the walk-up area for Bramley Moor. So it is probably the most scoped area where we can build. It's a great shout. I mean, I just think it's really good that, you know, the Friedkin group are looking into this already, and makes me wonder, you know, do you know if the Friedkin group would have had ownership of our football club when Bramley Moor was starting to get talked about? I think they would have gone with a higher capacity straight off, to be fair. So obviously they've looked at it, and if that's the case, then, you know, it'll mean more people will get a season ticket.
Yeah, spot on. And that's the end of the video, guys. Make sure you hit them. No, John, you're right. And there was murmurings about this before they actually, you know, signed I's dotted, T's crossed, and all of that. John's just decided he needs to go and have a poo, so he'll be back in a minute. But yeah, I think this is a big step, really. I think this is obvious. Now, you know, John was saying it's the only way they can go out. They can probably come into the fan plaza, as they call it. They probably can go this way. But I think, look, the fundamental, if they're going to increase capacity, great. We would all love that. I think it would show some ambition from the new owners as well. But before you do that, you've got to sort out the transport links. You've got to get a tram system. You've got to get a pier that people can get off closer to the stadium and can get across the water. You've got to do something to alleviate that traffic on one single track road that you can't even drive down on match day, sort of thing. You've got to do something, because it ain't going to work. You know, we're going to find out at the next test event, 25,000 fans, 10,000 was bad enough. How's 25 going to get there or not? You know, it's a half an hour walk or 20-minute into town. You're going to get buses, which are going to be absolutely jam-packed getting to the stadium. And then you've got people who, you know, will obviously park across the water and will get the ferry over to Pierhead and have to walk up.
I mean, I have seen a few murmurings that the fan plaza could be used for like smaller concerts and like make that into a music venue on the odd occasion if it's a smaller concert. Excuse me for 1 minute. James, get in, yeah.
Brilliant. I think the other thing that's important is when you look at the way that the stadium's been built, and as we know, we fit it in such a small gap, I'm now starting to not buy the point that they made, you know, around adding an extra 10,000 seats are the most expensive seats, but other seats that might not get filled. Everton want capacity. There's still going to be, I think, 12,000 fans on a waiting list for a season ticket. They've only increased the season ticket volume by about 3,000. You know, there's a lot of corporate now at Bramley Moor. There's still 5,000 tickets available, if I'm not mistaken. So there is definitely scope to get everyone a season ticket that wants one and still have some match-going fans. And the more attractive Everton become again, the better it's going to be for tourist money. You know, more people are going to want to visit Everton. More people are want to go and Bramley Moor. When I was up there the other day, there was PSG fans doing the tour at Goodison. You know, I ain't being funny. Everton are not a small club. So it's about time we acted like a big club. And I've said this for years. And if that means changing the infrastructure, great. But before we do it, please sort out those transport links.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that the Friedkin group are trying to make Everton be noticed as a big club. They're doing the best, you know, they've come in, they're going to spend money. There's talk about doing stuff around the ground 365 days a year. But there's another spanner to throw into the works. The buy Nelson Dock, I wonder if they could put like a train station on there for transport links. You know, would that be a waste of the space? Because as you quite rightly say, 10,000 was bad enough. If they haven't got it right, 25,000 is going to be a nightmare. Can you imagine 52,000 capacity, mate? It's going to be an absolute car crash. If they could put like a train link onto there or something, build a car park, but then you've still got the traffic getting into it, so maybe that won't happen. But they are treating us like a big club, as you quite rightly say. We do want to be noticed, and they've got all good purposes by the sounds of it to, you know, to extend our football club. And mate, they're definitely buying the fans over with, you know, what they're saying and what they're trying to do. And the future's bright, mate. The future's Everton, the biggest team, the biggest club on Merseyside.
Other news that I feel that we need to talk about, and I'm going to start with one that at first I thought it was a joke when I saw the England squad. You were telling me the England squad, and I thought this is either April Fool's come early, or it's like doing a test squad, you know, testing certain players. Mate, I think it's an absolute farce that Kwanzaa, Dan Burn, Kyle Walker, Jordan Henderson are in that team over Jared Branthwaite. I can't believe it. It stinks. I'll be straight with you. It stinks of Calvert-Lewin, the World Couple of Euros he should have gone to, and then he didn't, and it destroyed him. And my only hope is Jared Branthwaite doesn't look at this in two ways. And I said this to you. One, he goes, right, I need to leave Everton if I want to play for England. That could happen. That could turn his head. Or it just destroys him and he goes back into a shell. He goes back within himself and he's like, right, I'm just going to play at this level. I just hope it doesn't do either of those things.
Mate, I said to you when we were having this conversation, if Jared Branthwaite played for the Super Six, the darlings of the Premier League, as I call them, if he played for any of them teams, mate, he would have been in that England squad. He would. There's no two ways about it. It's because he plays for Little Evan the way we're perceived by a lot of people. Quite right with what you say about Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Jared Branthwaite's time will come with the England squad, mate. It's got to. He's fantastic. If he sticks around at Everton, he's the future Everton captain for me. I've said it on here. He could, if he gets picked for England, mate, and cements his place, he could become England captain. He's that good. But you're quite right with what you say. Kwanzaa, Dan Burn, you know, Levi Colwell, Jordan Henderson. For me, you said today, you know, it was just like a test squad. That's not a test squad, mate. I've just listened to Tuchel, his interview he done with Sky Sports. That's not a test squad, mate. He thinks he's picked the best squad there going forward. I think it's an absolute joke. And this is why Everton fans hate England, mate. We hate watching them. The majority of Everton fans who I know don't even watch England when they play. They don't support them. And it just stinks of corruption. It stinks of, because he plays for us, he hasn't been picked. And I think it's an absolute disgrace.
Yeah, spot on. Absolutely spot on. There was some more things I just wanted to briefly mention, obviously. And the whole reason for this video, John, you know, you had this idea for this video today. This was your video, your moment to shine here, my friend. And you've got some massive news to tell everyone, haven't you?
Mate, David Moyes, Premier League Manager of the Month, fully deserved. I think he's done wonders since he's come in with a squad that the previous manager said he couldn't get any more out of. David Moyes has got them playing like a team. we've got a manager who the players respect, and you can see that in the training videos. They're having a laugh, that, you know, it's a happy place, Finch Farm. We had a couple of players say, you know, it's a joy to go into training under this manager. Since the day he walked in, mate, he's completely turned this squad around. And you know what, mate, more than anything, he's changed Everton's fans' perception on our football club, because it was doom and gloom. We were all down in the dumps. We didn't enjoy going the game. We didn't enjoy watching Everton, full stop. This manager has given us our club back, and I think it's fully deserved that he's been picked for Premier League Manager of the Month, mate. What a turnaround he's done since he's come in. And I say it again, mate, I can't say it enough, fully deserved.
Yeah. We've been linked with a player today as well. And I'm slightly surprised that I'm saying this, but just as I was reading Twitter and I was driving up in the car, we've been linked with a certain Richarlison again. We've been linked with him on and off now, and you know, I'm not buying into these links, and we spoke about him before. Spurs want pretty much what they paid for him.
Yeah. I don't think Everton pay that. I think if there's a deal to be done, I think it'll be on a lower fee, or it could possibly be a season-long loan, and we see how he does with us. You know, our final PSR restriction will be sorted by that time. Personally, mate, I just think we'd be better to try and get him in on loan, because don't forget, you know, we've said it on here, he's had a lot of injuries since he signed for Tottenham. So for us to go out and give Tottenham near enough the money that they paid for him, because that's what they want, is a big gamble with the injuries that he's picked up since he's been at Spurs. So for me, I don't think you can go wrong with a loan deal. We see how it goes, and then we face up to it if it comes to a decision which we're going to buy him outright, see what he wants, see how he does with us if he does come on loan. But I don't think Everton spend that sort of money on one player, what Tottenham are asking for.
Yeah. And last thing I want to just talk about is Goodison Park. There's been various rumours about Goodison Park and what its uses will be. Colin Chong appears to have been kept on for various reasons, and I think Colin Chong has done a decent job with the new stadium. So I think it's only right that he actually does stay on in some capacity. But it looks like conversations have been had about Goodison, about the women's team, about the ladies playing there. It's a Premier League fit stadium, as they keep saying. I didn't believe this at first, but I genuinely think they're gonna have the ladies playing at Goodison Park for the foreseeable, and I love that. I absolutely love that.
Well, listen, as you quite right say, you know, we've seen the reports that Colin Chong has come out and said it's still a Premier League fit stadium. You know, obviously, it takes a lot to get the safety certificate every season, because it does need a lot of TLC. We know that. But to let the women play there, and possibly the under-23s as well, you know, we can still get some use out the old lady doing that. And, you know, we spoke to a couple of people, and, you know, they were telling us, even when Everton leave Goodison Park, if it doesn't get used for anything, it's not going to get knocked down straight away. And I think it'd be a shame to just leave it standing there, doing nothing for like 2 years or what have you. While it's there, get the use out of it. I think we've highlighted on here, if it's to be believed, that the new rules for women's football next season is they've got to have a capacity minimum 6,000 spectators. You know, we're probably not going to get 6,000 every women's home game, but the big games you will, i.e., you know, our rivals and Man United and Arsenal and Chelsea, especially Man City, the ones who consistently perform well in the Women's Super League. So if it can happen, I'm all for it, instead of it just letting it sit there and rot away and be a shame for it to go like that. So if we can find a use for it, I'm all over it all day.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it might mean, all jokes aside, I've dreamt of playing on Goodison Park in a charity game or some form of something. And I'm sure, as a manager with a 1-0 record, John, winning games of football, strikers hitting crossbars from 50 yards, lobbing a keeper, etc., etc., etc. I'm sure you would love to stand in that dugout shouting at me.
Do you know what, mate? We want to push the channel forward, and we've spoke on here. We've got a couple of things in the pipeline. If the women do end up playing there and they are going to keep Goodison in some capacity, I think it would be easier to probably organise a charity match on there. And for me, and I speak for you as well, probably, and for a lot of our friends who would be involved, be a dream come true to manage a team there and to watch you play there and Millsy and stuff like that. So I think it'd be a bit easier to get that one off the ground. And hopefully, if we do keep it in some capacity, that's something that will happen, because that would just make me so happy. That
I'll bring my captain's armband on this occasion, John.
Hey, you might even play, yeah.
Say again?
You might even get picked, yeah. Don't count your chickens, lad.
You're joking. What happened last time? You rang me up at the services, said, Mike, you're not starting on the bench where I'd requested. You're going to start the game. You're going to play in the number 10 role, and I just want you to pull the strings. Little did you know that you had fat Messi on your hands.
Yeah, a fat mess, you mean?
Right, guys, look, we're going to try and do more of these news shows. We haven't quite decided the makeup of them, but essentially we are going to try and do them semi, if not daily, and probably try and put a bit of a schedule together, probably starting from April. But obviously, if there is any big news or is anything me and John want to discuss, we'll always do a video, you know that. But today looked exciting news for me. The Peel thing, and obviously Colin Chong's comment and statement. If you haven't seen it, make sure you go and read it. He very much is discussing the future of Bramley-Moore and actually building a plan for it to extend with our growth plans. 53,000 is probably fine right now. But in 2 years, 3 years, European football, Champions League football, winners of England, winners of the Premier League, winners of the European Super Cup, winners of everything, you're going to need at least 120,000 seat stadium if Manchester United are building a massive tent. So we're going to need that. So Bramley-Moore, you know what? Look, Liverpool has always been a city on the Mersey, and we're so proud of the Mersey. But Everton should just buy that as well. Just buy the Mersey and just have it floating in the middle. Just make Bramley-Moore the statement of Liverpool. Just stick it there. Stands up to 36,000 feet, so high that planes have to get fucking flight control to allow them to fly through it, not over it. Just do it. Just make us big again. I love Dan Friedkin. I already love him. He's literally never said a word, and I already love him.
Totally agree. I wish you wouldn't say a word. I fucking hate you.
I tell you what, if your wrinkles get any deeper, you're going to be able to mountain climb down them bad boys.
Before I met you, I wasn't grey, and I didn't have wrinkles. It's all on you. And the thing is, you can't see your wrinkles because there's that much fucking fruit and jelly on you.
Just stand there a second. Just look at the camera. Everyone, can you see that John's nose looks like a penis? There's literally a thing down the middle of it and a big hooter at the end.
Finished. Brilliant.
Right.
And you even nose like that, because when I'm going down on your bird, you need to be able to breathe.
Brilliant. Splendid. That's fantastic. Right, guys, we will be I'll be back tomorrow for the match reaction. I don't know if John will be able to see straight because he's got permission to have a few beers tomorrow. So, that means he won't be on the channel. He'll be on the floor, on the deck, sleeping. So I'll be doing the match reaction. Pops is coming with me as well. So we are sitting in the park end. If you do see us, come and say hello. As I've said before, we do not bite. John does, I don't. So make sure you come and say hello. But until then, hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure you follow all the socials. Remember, John's got TikTok. Remember that. And he's doing a good job on it. He posts once a week, but every time it's quality content. Yeah, that's it. John's got an idea of hosting a Legends night, so I'm leaving that with him. So he's going to hate me for dropping that on him as well. So I'm loving this. I'm loving this. I'm stirring the pot.
You're not even fucking invited. You're not coming.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And John's also had an idea for his 70th birthday, which is at the end of this year. He's going to arrange a night out with all of the people that want to go out with him. I've said that I won't be in attendance. I'll be washing my hair. But if you want to go with John, by all means, go and have a Christmas party with John. The beers are on him.
Brilliant. See you, folks.